All you're standing, do you want to lead the Pledge of Allegiance tonight? Because Adam's
Sure.
not here and he
Sure.
likes to do it, and I know you like to do it.
That's fine, yep. Alright, ready?
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks. So I'll call this meeting to order. This is Nottingham Planning Board. Today's Wednesday, August 27th at 6:34. And we'll get going. What I like to do is just go around the room, around the table here, and have people introduce themselves. I'll start on my left.
Alright, John Decker, Select Board.
Dirk Rotenheis, Chairman.
Drew Stevens, Vice Chairman.
Danny Arsenal, member.
Skip Severns, alternate.
Nick Principato, land use clerk.
And I want a big welcome to Nick for joining us. Nick Principato is our new land use clerk. And we welcome him, and I know he's got some good experience and do well.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Any help you need, we'll all try and pitch in.
I'm glad to hear it.
So first, next thing on the agenda, just approval of minutes, and that's from August 13th. I think we have them in here. That was from our joint board meeting. Anybody have any comments about the minutes? Everybody reviewed the minutes or feel comfortable with the minutes to make a motion, or?
I wasn't there, but I found one statement in here I thought was somewhat interesting, but
Okay,
I don't know if that's a comment or not. It's not whether it's accurate, it's just,
well, why don't you bring it up?
alright. Line number 62 says, Mr. Sylvia noted that he will follow the RSA's when making his determinations. I understood the statement the first time I read it, and then the second time I read it, I kinda went, okay, so the voters we don't care about what the voters want?
Let's see, recent,
I don't-
see what's in pertaining to the legislative changes. So that comment was, if I remember right, was because the state now has a law on the books, in effect, and our zoning
Not
is not changed to reflect that. That statement to me, if I remember, was that he would go by that RSA that is the state law and not by the current Nottingham zoning law.
Okay,
We could probably better clarify it or something.
Do we?
That was
do
my
we need to
recollection
add-
as well.
Nick Principato, how you doing?
Hey, new guy. Chris Evans.
Nice to meet you.
In case I don't have a tag up here, you know.
All your stuff's over
You
there.
get it?
Come late, you gotta go get it yourself.
Ah, man. I thought this was something you took care of. It's a new guy.
I was told to put it there.
But Skip, that was my understanding as well, was that comment was in references, in particular to like ADUs and other stuff like that, where the state has kind of overrules local
yeah,
zoning on it.
so my confusion is that we do our voting in March. They do their law enactment in July. There's no way in the world we're gonna be in compliance with RSA's in the manner in which we are typically accustomed to, I guess. So if we're gonna go by what the law does immediately, then there could be a lot of things that don't violate, but may not have all the clarity that we might want to provide to it when we make our laws. state says we have to do this, we can do more. And it may not be invoked at that time in July,
Right.
August, September, however you wanna say that. That concerns me.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything we can do about that, because there is that period of time that the law goes into effect. And if there's amendments that we propose to that, or to clarify, or extend, yeah, the voters don't get the opportunity to vote too much on that. So it would have to be follow that law as written.
Then why do we have laws in Nottingham that voters vote on? I just, nothing makes sense here to me. If we're not involved in the state law and they invoke it, okay, I understand we have to follow it. But then why do we have our own rules?
Well, that is an option, right? We could just defer to those RSAs. So for ADUs, if we feel like this, if the town feels like the state is how they wanna go and not be more restrictive, then we can just eliminate ADU from our zoning and say reference the state.
Right, and I understand that, but there's still 9 months or so before that gets voted in.
Mhm.
To me, it just.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just saw that and thought that was kind of. I understand why he made the comment he made, but that seems to have other ramifications.
Well, it's a reflection of what he said,
Yeah,
so I
oh,
think,
okay, that's fine.
I mean, if there's some clarification,
I wasn't looking to change the minutes, I was just.
looking to stir the pot, and that's fine.
That's about right.
Okay. Any concerns on the minutes of people who were there?
I'll make a motion to accept the August 13th, 2025 minutes as written.
Second,
Second.
Chris, any other discussion? Those in favor indicate aye. All right, those opposed,
I'll abstain.
one abstention, abstention.
I seconded. I don't have to aye it, do I?
You do.
You
I do.
Still
Still?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, aye again then, yeah. Sorry.
All right, those are approved.
Because you could still vote no. Second.
All you're doing is just moving the motion to get to a vote.
All right, so then on the agenda, the next on the agenda are public hearings. And we have case 25-006 SUB Ernstoff, 35 Deerfield Road. On this application, we have been notified by that applicant that they wish to withdraw this application. So at this point, that application will not be moving forward.
Correct. So a motion to withdraw without prejudice would be appropriate.
I'll make a motion to withdraw case 25-006, sub Ernstoff, 35 Deerfield Road. I'm missing a piece there. Without prejudice,
At
Right.
the applicant's request.
at the applicant's request. Thank you, Blair.
Second on that,
Second.
from Chris. Any discussion? So I just want to point out that if they wish to reapply, the public notices would have to be redone and the public would be notified again if there's any alterations or reapplications for that. Okay, and we'll move on to public comments.
Just do a quick
We
vote.
have to vote.
Oh, we did. Okay. Got lost there.
We have the motion and the second.
Oh,
think
I
we
was
just need to do
discussing.
that.
That's where I got
Yeah,
lost.
there you go.
Those in,
Disgusting.
those in favor indicate aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I communicated that back to Mr. Barry. That they'll have to go through the whole process.
Okay. Good.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I will now move on to the next item on the agenda, which is public comment. I would like to reach out to the public that is in our audience, but there isn't any. So I'll reach out to the people that are on TV. If you want to make a comment or have questions, you can either please come in, have a discussion with us. If you want to discuss parts of our zoning, land use, we're happy to do that, or you can email us and
Email that guy over there.
email planzone at Nottingham address. All right. And we're already to updates. So let me start at Nick. Do you have any updates for the board for land use?
Besides me being here, I don't have any.
All right, great, that's a good enough update. Skip?
CIP is, moving along. If, I would have said we were pretty much done on Monday night, except we haven't gotten all of our stuff yet. But it's well worked out. We got some new forms kind of that have to be filled out, that kind of stuff. So, as I said last time, we increased it to $15,000 as a minimum and 10-year outlook. So, most of the parties that submitted only did it for the 6 years, so we've kind of moved stuff around, moved it out. But it's going all right. As we get more information, I'm sure we'll be flying along, ready to print.
And we're looking to meet with the department heads to discuss some of that stuff a bit further.
Decipher.
Decipher, yeah.
So what's some of the general stuff that's on the CIP? I mean, what are some of the highlights, I guess?
Highlights.
Highlights.
Well, it's interesting because now that we've gone out 10 years, there's a lot more that tends to be reflected. So like highway trucks, there's a lot of trucks on there now because they're pushed out in various manners. Administrative concerns are doing their types of things, but haven't really seen much in the way of 10 years from them yet. Police department is still looking at doing something with the expansion or some sort of deal with the station itself. Rec has some stuff on there for Marston to bring Marston up to a safer environment, but also new projects for various fields, courts,
Yeah, courts
Yeah.
probably is appropriate.
parking, better situation for parking, and some of that kind of stuff.
Multi-purpose court, I think, is
Yeah.
really,
Multi-purpose court.
Pickleball?
it's part of that, yes. It's like
Pretty sure that's
basketball,
gonna,
pickleball.
pretty sure that's gonna be in there.
Yeah,
Fire department, did not have any new vehicles on their thing except for ambulance, but there's gotta be some more stuff that comes in on that. But again, we're working through it. I don't think there's anything new and magical on the list. They're not considering a septic sewer system or a water system for all people in town. That kind of a thing, it's not on there.
Does that interact with the school and the school budget and planning?
Yeah.
Yeah, school has provided some information.
they're still looking at an expansion there as well, but they're looking to potentially research, at least with modulars and stuff like that. And then they have some air handlers.
Yeah, the whole HVAC system, repairs, replacements, all that is still going on, so. They wanna purchase a generator. They wanna have a generator that I believe makes the school consistent with some sort of a shelter, which we haven't really had before.
Those are fairly easy to get through grants.
It's very what?
Fairly easy to get through grants, FYI. Now, I say that, I don't know what the current status of things are. It's through FEMA,
Yeah,
so.
my guess is they're gonna find that perhaps that might be more difficult than, not getting the grants or anything, but becoming a shelter might be more difficult than just being a temporary shelter.
Yeah, to become a,
Power.
to become a shelter is to become like a certified shelter, you need to have a kitchen.
Yeah.
You
Well,
need
they have
to-
a kitchen, it's a school.
Yeah, and all needs to be able to be operated with no electricity, right? So that requires some retrofitting. Yeah, the things that require, that it takes to become a shelter.
Shelter, yeah, cots, availability of
Right,
cots and all that.
that's, yeah, probably more of the challenge is like having cots and storage of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, and having food provisions that don't require refrigeration.
Right,
Yeah, no, it's a big deal.
so.
But you can still get a generator and still be a temporary something or other.
Yeah.
And you have your updated hazard mitigation plan, so you can apply for those from FEMA.
well, they haven't had one up to this point, so.
Right. It's definitely something to consider once they look at going forward with that.
Anyway, that's a CIP.
Danny?
No updates.
Master Plan Subcommittee met yesterday. I'll let some of the other people that were there give other updates, but there's gonna be a Housing and Natural Resource Community Workshop on Saturday, November 8th from 9 AM to 12 PM noon. Open to the public for input on both housing issues in Nottingham and natural resource issues for the master plan as well. Community is not just welcome to attend, but encouraged to attend that event. All that input from that event will be fed directly into the master plan subcommittee's work. And that's, I think that's it for me, yeah.
No, it's a great update. I was gonna mention the same thing, but,
Somebody doing that, running that workshop, or?
yeah, SRPC will be running
Oh,
that
okay.
for us.
Blair's gonna be standing in front of a podium for 2 hours. Running
With
it.
people throwing darts and stuff at him. He's gonna have a plastic shield though.
I've
No
watched,
question is off the table.
I've watched him do it before, and he's pretty good. But there is a dog that might be present that will tell him when it's time to stop talking.
I wanna emphasize that this will be an interactive workshop. It's not a presentation. It's gonna be, we need citizens' input. We want them to engage with some of these workshop things that we'd be doing to describe what the community wants for a lot of different things. Primarily in that meeting, it will be natural resources and housing. So two very important topics for Nottingham. I don't have much else. We did meet with the subcommittee meeting last night, and we talked primarily about the natural resources, but the other chapters of the updates are moving along. Some of them a little bit slower than others, but that's okay. We've got some time to keep it going. That's really all I have.
All right, from the select board, obviously it was announced that Nick was starting this week, so welcome aboard, Nick. I think we covered that. All right, what else? Oh, thanks to a generous donor, the ALS is gonna be fully covered again this year for the upcoming budget season, but we're looking at trying to figure out how we should start saving for that, because at some point it will hit our budget.
How much was that donation that covered that service?
I don't know, we didn't have the amount, we just,
Gotcha.
somebody said that it was covered completely, so we're not even sure what our amount actually is at this point, cause it doesn't,
Yeah.
it's supposed to come out like in a month or two.
Okay.
So, let's see, what else? Road paving will begin in the next few weeks. Exact dates and locations will be posted on the town website and Nixle. The new grader, hopefully is gonna be here by the end of September or beginning of October. Anything else we have here? It's probably the major stuff, I think. I think that's really the major stuff.
Anything about the assessment, revaluation?
Oh, no, just Tim Min, the correction based on what he's quoted, the amount. I don't remember what he actually, what he originally said and what he corrected it to. But we didn't talk about the assessment really at all because, I mean, that, I mean, it's been sent out and I think the window for, not variances, abatements has been closed, I believe. But I mean, I'm sure that there's still ways to do that if you need to.
Was that number, the new number higher or lower?
Higher, it was higher by quite a bit, maybe twice as much percentage, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, don't quote me on anything, but it was like 30 and 70 or something, I don't know.
Chris?
Nothing, just curious about Mr. Matt over there. Where do you come from? What did you do before? Can you tell us a little?
Yeah, I grew up in Nottingham my whole life. I go to UNH right now. I'm a political science major. This past summer, I worked up in Derry for their urban planning office. And then I saw the job posting for this, and an opportunity to work for your hometown isn't something you pass up on. So excited to be here.
So you still live here?
I do, yeah.
Very good. Good. Excellent. Thank you.
We need more townies.
Blair?
Yeah, there's nothing more for me to, I'm trying to think if there's any more for me to say on the master plan chapters, but I think the both of you kind of covered everything that was said. But I emphasize that, to the viewing audience, that the 3-hour Saturday morning workshop is going to be for both housing and natural resources, and we have planned activities, breakout groups. So it will be engaging. It'll be interesting, and we'll definitely learn a lot from each other. Kind of both ways. It'll be iterative. That being said, I just want to point out that there's some New Hampshire housing events, conferences coming up over the course of September and October. There's a really good one, the Housing and Economy Conference in October 16th in Concord. I was excited to see that the keynote speaker, this woman Kayla from Colorado, she's an economist who wrote an amazing book, and she's young and she's really making a name for herself. She's making the rounds on a lot of the podcasts and even the regular TV appearances and stuff. And she's really good. She's really engaging. Her key skill is taking really complex concepts and breaking it down to a layperson's understanding. She doesn't really tend to talk past you or over your head. And her whole book is about kind of articulating it from the perspective of like the average consumer, the economy and the average consumer. It says here through a human-centered lens. So I highly recommend it. I think it would be a great conference regardless, but I think she's just adds a real exclamation point on the lineup. It's a half-day conference. It's not anything you have to commit to too much. But if you go to their events page on New Hampshire Housing and Finances Authority's website, there's quite a number of events coming up, and many of them are housing related. So kind of keeping in the theme, the RSA changes and our master plan work, housing. So I would strongly recommend checking that out. And some of the stuff's online. Some of them are like lunchtime webinars, but there are a number of ones that are in person if you really want to get out there and be engaging. I know I forwarded at least some of them to you, so just keep an eye out on what, emails from me and stuff. But yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks. All right, so let's move on to other business. Probably the bulk of the rest of the meeting, we'll just talk about some of the recent legislative changes, which we talked about already in the past, but how we would like to start folding that into our zoning changes. So I think that's really, Blair, is that kind of what the plan here to go through those?
Yeah, there's 3 of them I want to go through. I think these are the ones that we have to make movement on to be compliant. Are there other ones that we should really start to talk about? And I don't want to lose sight of the subdivision and site plan review regulations, because we keep saying we're gonna do it, and we keep pushing it out because we want to stay on that zoning amendment schedule, and we end up overlooking it because neither one of those has been touched for coming up on 10 years now, at least the way it's listed. They're all listed as 2015 or 2016. So those are the easy ones to change, but we keep pushing it off. There's some things we need to do. So yeah, I would suggest starting with those 3, but they're but leaving, let's leave some time for the road discussion as well. Do you guys have? I circulated 3 amendments with revised text. Did you guys get that? Is that in your packets?
I don't think it is.
It's not.
I didn't have it.
All right. I sent it out before Tuesday, so it might have been here before you. I was hoping maybe Ellen put it in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
You guys, nothing
don't
in
see
there.
it.
You had previously circulated one couple meetings back that had the House bill and Senate bill numbers on them.
Yeah, that was our toolkit. It's kind of a guide, and it was generic. It's like the guidance on it was applicable. Yeah, that's applicable to all communities. But what I did was take the pertinent sections of our existing zoning ordinance and then made the track changes in them based on, just my interpretation, and to give you something to react to.
Can you email them to us on
I-
that?
I can, yeah.
Can you print it?
I can print it. Can we print it?
You can't print it.
Like
You
fast
print-
printer, not that thing though.
It has to be that one in there. That's the only one I have access to.
It takes forever. It's a fax machine copier.
Do you
That's
wanna
all
display it?
sounds.
Yeah, can I do
Oh.
that?
Yeah. We got
Yeah,
TV
you can
right there.
present on that guy.
You can present on that.
Right, is that well,
Yeah.
probably cool.
It's not gonna reach very far,
Oh,
we
you know
can
what?
switch.
We could, untie it. It's tied.
Is there another one of these?
Oops, I just took the cap off it. Don't think it really matters, but will that reach you?
I don't know if that'll hook to it or not. I mean, try it. You might have to change the input. I don't know how to work the new room yet. Do you want, here, do
So
you
is
want,
that just like a,
take my spot. See, I'm gonna move back to that spot again.
You're always destined.
For people that, before you were here, I was
Oh.
sitting here. And then I moved over because there was nobody here.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Good job, Nottingham.
Yeah. It's a worthy conference room upgrade.
I know where I'm coming for the Super Bowl this year.
And I think if, just wait and let, Blair plug in, sometimes, let's see if it's set to switch the input if it receives a signal before we start.
Make sure I got nothing pulled up on one of these.
Oh, that one's ahead of that other one, because that one's live.
Did it recognize that it's plugged into something?
It did something on my screen, like it breathed.
It's on the HDMI input.
Is there an HDMI 2 maybe? I keep hitting input.
The only one that's listed here is those two, so I don't particularly wanna start.
You would think this changed.
That's what Ellen told me, was that we could just just use that plug.
It'd be like plug and play, like,
Let's just have, let's just find out. Let's just find out.
Alright, there you go. Right, no signal.
It's got different, I'm hitting the different HDMI inputs to see if one of them is the correct one. Doesn't look like any are yet.
need to get my kids in here. Wait, you're a kid? What do you got here?
I don't know. HDMI cord should work. That's all I got for you.
My guess is that there's probably a splitter or something like that before it goes to the TV that's set to just mirror the video feed rather than go through that HDMI input, but how to get it to do what we want, I don't know.
Is there a direct HDMI input?
Well, of course there is.
Then why don't you take that cord?
Yeah, that could work too.
As long as I can get it far enough away from it, I'm not staring right in the eye of the beast.
There might be a way to do it on the iPad over there.
Does this iPad?
That I don't really know.
Yeah, really. Watch it and see.
You do?
One not like, oh, yes.
Wrecked.
Larry, was that the 6-page thing that you sent out?
No, it was 3 like 2-page documents. They were all Word. And they were like track changes.
There's another pluggy plug here, I don't know if that's,
Yeah,
No, that's for the left.
Which
it's a-
which
yeah,
HDMI
it's
was
like
that
an
plugged
iPad
into?
specific.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Alright.
so now you want. Well, here,
Do you
we'll
have a
hold
wireless
stable.
mouse?
What?
Wireless mouse? Then you could sit there and,
I don't have it.
okay.
Oh, that-
There you go.
What kind of tech they have over there at SRPC?
Track walls.
DOS.
Want us to come visit you over there, or you project your voice out?
I can. I'll just work off my laptop. You guys.
Am I
Yeah.
blocking you now? No.
See, if you, public were here, then you could see the display.
All right. So
Sometime in the future, we'll figure out how to display it.
Yeah, we need
Oh,
to.
Yeah.
Nick, you have some homework.
I'm on it.
no.
I don't think I get that.
Blair's gotta find it now.
Got the toolkit.
In the behind the scenes. That's what I'm trying to pull up. Is that?
Oh,
Uh,
okay, I have that.
This one, letting myself in. So there's gonna have to be something that we have to do for private roads, but for now, that'll be in the subdivision, regulations. I focused on zoning amendments for now. And, so the first one is ZBA appeals deadlines. RSA, it amends RSA 676(5), which used to require the ZBA to hear an appeal within a reasonable time, so there's no specified amount. Now, it has to be done within 30 days of a decision. So I looked at sections. So this is the zoning board of adjustment section of the town's zoning ordinance. And I basically added language that would clarify the procedures.
Do you know what section that is?
I know, this is where I'm letting myself down. It's way towards the back of the ordinance.
Is it in the definitions?
No, not that far. Administration and enforcement.
Article 5, Part C, I think.
Correct. Article 5C.
C2, C2D.
So what I did was added this underlined text. It's copy pasted from the RSA.
Could you increase the size of that just a little bit down in the lower right corner? Yeah, there you go, cool. Thanks. All right, that's more helpful.
So. Now,
Has anybody located it?
No.
I think it's on page 48.
48 looks
Yeah,
like.
48, it would go right after part C2. Well, yeah, it's a new C2 that would be slotted in there, I believe.
So Article 5, administration enforcement. And then C is about the ZBA, what its function is, procedure, expiration of special exception, and then D is amendments to the ordinance. So you only have subsections 1, 2, 3. I just inserted this text in here about shall be taken within 30 days by filing with the officer from whom the appeal is taken. So if you're appealing a building inspector decision, if you're appealing a planning board decision or a ZBA decision, you take it up with the person you have to, you're filing against, but you have to do it within 30 days.
Wouldn't that be like shouldn't that be like number 4? After
after approval?
It can be, yeah, just to make it easier.
Well, to make it easier, and then, I mean, that way it's, if it's a, you know, an appeal process.
Seems at the end. I agree.
Okay.
Let's move it down.
4.
It would be its own. That would be its own,
Well, yeah, I mean, Blair had it as its own bullet anyway.
yeah.
Yep.
It just seems for flow reasons maybe to put.
I hadn't thought about it that way. If you're doing an
Yeah.
appeal, that's the last thing, so, yeah, okay, that's fine. So, right, so that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna just take this subsection, C. 1, 2, 3, and now 4.
Can we put a date on the bottom of that, just for housekeeping purposes, to say this is when this was adopted, so that people can see that? Or added or changed or whatever?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
I guess it won't be adopted until it goes to warrant article, so, all right, never mind.
It would be inconsistent with the rest of the document, but you can do that. You can kind of do whatever you want. You do track when it's,
Yeah, we only revised it as a whole document. You know, so we adopt it as a full document, not just, you know, one section.
you
Check.
keep, yeah, you keep track of when it does get amended here.
But it's not specific.
All right,
No, you wouldn't
in
be able.
March of, all right, I see that, March of every year
Yeah.
meeting.
Which you have to do. You have to just indicate at least at that minimum level
Right,
that it's been
but then it's
amended.
sometimes difficult to tell when things get changed.
Right, you have to go back to each previous one and kind of, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pain in the tuchus.
Yeah.
So I have this document that's like up to date. This is all the, warrant amendments, and what they are.
Oh.
This is just something I created. Cause sometimes we were having problems with.
That would be good to have like as an appendix to the document.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm seeing a good Nick project.
And isn't,
I have one of those filled out through 2011 now.
oh,
Yeah.
nice. Like this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sick.
You went through
For
all the
land use.
town reports?
The intern that we had for the
Oh.
Conservation Commission, he helped locate all the land use based warrant articles since the last master plan had been put together, so that we could track whether or not the natural resource and the land use objectives in the implementation guide had been met. So
Awesome.
that last part, connecting up the warrant articles that have been put forth and connecting those with the objectives in the implementation guide, that part hasn't been done yet. And the intern is also done at this point, so we'll have to, Nick, maybe you could help do that part.
Happy to.
Nick might need an intern.
Didn't you say it was going to UNH?
Probably got some
Some homework.
contacts.
Can you share that?
I've been meaning to, I just keep forgetting, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know we had talked about this. Did he have any luck finding if any certain maps were adopted along the way?
I asked him to do that too, and I can't remember offhand if he did successfully find that or not, so
Ask that question
TBD.
again.
I asked if he'd been able to find any maps that had been adopted. So
So like there's a wetlands conservation district map,
Yeah.
that type of thing. And I think that was one of the main questions, right? When that type of regulatory map got adopted by the town.
yeah, I wanted to know when it was adopted, but also what regulatory maps do we have? Like, for
Yeah.
example, I know we have the aquifer protection zone map. We have the zoning map. The wetlands conservation, it's not labeled as a regulatory map, and I think it should be, so that people know that this map is for information, like a lot of what you have lining in the halls here.
Correct.
But then it should be clearly presented on the town website. These are our regulatory maps. And so that they're treated like the zoning zoning ordinance and they're referenced. So that
Yeah.
builders, developers, citizens know what's part of the zoning ordinance and what's just information.
Back when I was doing it, we didn't have that per se.
Uh,
And then it started to get, the importance of having those maps seemed to come along with USA Springs. And so there may have been some maps that got some sort of, went through some regulatory aspect at that point in time, but I don't think there were many.
no, there's-
Even the official map of Nottingham was something we discussed many times and nobody wanted one.
the
even-
official, like, just the town boundaries?
It all depends what stuff you wanna put on the map.
Oh, sure, I understand.
Okay, so
Oh,
I see there is one now that says official. I don't think it was ever,
official town map?
there
I
is,
mean, that would be a select board thing, that wouldn't be us. This, right?
well, I think maybe the planning board kind of brings it up and yes, it would tend to be their action, but
I mean, an official town map, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know what regulatory power that would have, you're just telling what the boundaries are and just
Yeah.
landmarks and stuff.
But as soon as it says official,
Yeah.
then it starts to become planning board stuff.
Okay,
Apparently, at the time, it was something that the planning board did not wanna touch at all.
oh, okay. Alright, well, maybe this requires a little more investigation, but I know that like, you know, we have our overlay districts, we have our zoning map, like, there are certain things that have boundaries and we need to know what they are.
Right.
Cause we need to know whether an applicant falls inside or outside, and
And
it
there
can
was,
be mapped, then let's do it. Like this, the steep slope overlay map, we can't produce that without a survey.
correct,
But some of these
major
other,
survey,
what's that?
major survey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's just something, that's just a regulatory thing that will come to us through the certified survey, that the surveyor.
Say surveyors do as they submit, yeah.
But like the Aquifer Protection District, we produce, SRPC produced for you guys, and we actually want to update it, or adopt the updated version.
And I think that's the one that may have been somehow officiated as a result of USA Springs, but I don't know how that
The
translated.
Aquifer one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it could have been, yeah. So anyways.
These, all of these changes also were in a folder in the file cabinets in the room. Nick? No.
And Blair, all those changes can be found if you look at the town reports on the website. There's like town reports for every year. And in the same area, they do the warrant articles, so you could go through town reports for each year and probably scan and copy that up right there on the spot.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
warrant
this,
articles.
that's what this list is,
Yeah,
is to let you know what years certain changes were made.
yeah, that's good.
As a quick reference guide. Cause like if you recall, we had, for some reason, we were having a slew of incidences where people with subdivision approvals were coming back. They hadn't done much, if anything at all, and they're past that 12 months to initiate the project. Well, when they come and ask for extension, we have to go back, cause I guess in New Hampshire, zoning changes can be applied to an extended approval.
Correct.
So this makes the job a lot easier to find out when certain things were done and as it relates to the original approval. That's what sparked this, but then I just kept going and then I stopped. And it sounds like Drew's intern, the Conservation Commission's intern.
I like the idea of just maybe advancing it to maybe have it as an appendix.
Yeah, that makes life a lot easier.
Yeah. As long as we don't have to make that an amendment to the zoning every time.
No, this would be an
No, the
administrative,
appendix is not,
it's just,
not part of the,
yeah.
it's just an appendix to the document.
Okay. Okay.
But that's where it separates
an
When
appendix.
when I was doing this, it was the early days of the computer kind of thing, and you go, oh boy, you could put everything on the computer, and here it is. But when you do the appendices, it ends, unless it's part of the document, it disappears and
Right.
doesn't seem to exist there. You have
Yeah.
to know that it's there to
You
find
have
it.
to, yes, you have to kind of keep it together, but changes to an appendix aren't part of the
Right.
document.
I think there's much better ways of doing it today than back then.
Alright, so are we good with this one?
Yep.
It's reference material, basically.
Can we kind of make that section, conform to its own format? It looks like, one, the C one should be function, and then the rest of it, the primary, would follow after a space. Like 2 is procedure. 3,
Oh.
expiration of special exception, and 4, appeals,
Yeah.
and then a space, or,
Yeah, that would make sense, to keep it consistent.
looks like it was developed that way. Yeah. Oh, you don't need A necessarily, yeah, there you go.
Well, you're saying
It,
you want it to look like this, procedure.
Yeah, well, it's just adding a heading to
Right,
it.
or 3, even like 3. 3 doesn't have, because it's only a single bullet.
Yeah.
And it probably
Oh,
should,
I see.
maybe 3 should have a bullet as well, but, you know,
Yeah.
it was not adopted that way, so
Right.
we'd have to make an acceptance to change that.
but at least that appears to be one thing unless you wanna make it into bullets. Right?
Oh my god, I hate words.
I know, you don't have to format it.
And we don't like the
You don't have to
purple
format it
color.
now. Purple,
Yeah, never mind that purple color.
it's just,
But that was interesting, it was missing appeals as part of the process.
Okay, on to the next. ADUs.
Yep.
Where's that?
So eventually we have to have a hearing to discuss this and then
Mhm.
open to the public and then put it onto a warrant article.
yes.
Yes, but we can't hold the initial hearings for like a few more months.
Okay.
It can't be so far from the town meeting that people forget it even happened.
Well, this is good that we get the housekeeping part of this done here while we're in a
I know, this
little
tease-
quiet.
Just tease it up really good. Alright, so Article 2, subsection C. So Article 2 is zoning districts and district regulations. You have the zoning map that we just talked about. We talk about our zoning districts and then we start talking about, you know, the things within that, you know, the performance standards, minimum lot size, what you can and can't do, yada, yada, yada. So within this one, C, residential, you come down to 7, which is accessory dwelling units.
Bottom of page 4 for everybody.
So that brings us over to here. I copied and pasted the whole thing into this. And then I started making edits. So number 9, 10 said ADUs shall have an interior door provided between the principal dwelling unit and the ADU. This is no longer a requirement. I deleted it. It could be just changed to say that attached ADU, but I don't know if you wanna do that.
It seems redundant, right? If it
It's-
doesn't have a common door, then it would be an attached ADU, right? So it's kind of, that, yeah, it seems
That's why I deleted it. There seems like there's no point.
That
in
makes
having-
sense to me.
Kind of chasing your tail to make it work. So let me step back. So the change to the RSA wasn't just the fact that you have to have the detached ADUs. It was, a smidge more robust than that.
Adds flexibility for ingress and egress. This seems more specific.
So these are all the things that it changed.
Yeah.
Allow for conversion of existing structures, including detached garage, into ADUs, even if the structure doesn't meet current setbacks or lot coverage dimensional standards, for example. It's not just those two. We talked about this in the joint meeting. If you were there, I brought this up. If you have because some towns say accessory structures could be 10 feet off the lot line, but a house has to be 50 feet off the lot line. If you turn that accessory structure into an ADU, you would think it has to comply to the 50, but what they're saying is, no, you can add an ADU to an existing garage, even if it's inside the setback for a dwelling, if you have separated ones. I don't think, I think everything is 50 feet for accessory structures.
Some
But-
exception, but yeah,
Yeah, so,
general.
yeah, so,
But if it's existing before zoning changed to 50 feet,
yeah,
then this allows that to be used instead of, no, you can't do that because it's not 50 feet.
we'll get a variance.
But smaller lots allow it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can't require them to get a variance. This adds flexibility, retains local option, require the owner occupancy of the principal dwelling, which we do. This was, one of the two units has to be occupied as a primary residence. Go ahead.
No, that says the principal dwelling. Oh, or ADU, sorry. Okay, yeah. I missed the or. So I didn't read far enough.
We talked about this one too. You guys, the town is compliant because you can allow ADUs of 950 square feet, but you cannot limit them to anything less than 750. We're at 750, so we meet the minimum. So that, we don't need to change that unless the town wants to. You still have to pull the building permit, you still have to follow DES requirements for septic and stuff. And then this just goes on to say you can't expose stricter setback requirements, aesthetic standards, or design review requirements for the ADU that go beyond the single family dwelling. Stratford requires you to get a special exception for an ADU, no longer. They'd have to allow it by right. The town of Middleton requires an extra acre for an ADU. You can no longer require that. If it's 2 acres and your house is on a 2-acre lot, or even if it's existing non-conforming, you can't prohibit them from having an ADU. You can't require more than 1 parking space per ADU. What's wild is you have 0 parking requirements. We talked about this in the joint meeting in the zoning. I know we talked about the conversions, but even that doesn't specify a number, just that you show adequate, which, that's arbitrary. So I thought this is interesting, that you guys don't have any minimum requirement, which is great, good for you guys. And I guess deny the establishment of a separate electrical panel will service to the ADU. That's a building code thing, it's nothing that you mentioned in your zoning, you're silent on that. So, to that end.
Can you scroll back up to the 750?
This isn't how the language appears. If you want me to go look, if you're looking for something nuanced, I can go back and look.
So, but we will have to change it.
You just,
Ours says shall not exceed 750 square feet.
which is the minimum that they say you have.
That says 950.
You could go.
No,
up
it
to
says
that.
you can't,
Up to.
they can't be any bigger than that and still be considered an ADU, but towns can't restrict them from being any smaller than 750 square feet. So essentially, all the ADUs are gonna end up being between, well, the town can't.
750 and 950.
Exactly.
But we have.
But we
a
have
limit.
it right at 750.
But now here, why wouldn't we consider having it 950 to match what the state is allowing?
We could if we
Could,
so
yeah.
choose.
You can.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think there's, you know, we're changing things that are required, but why wouldn't we change things to be in compliant with the state?
At this point, it's now just like a policy decision of the town. Is this your desire?
Right.
The point of what I'm doing is get you compliant. But yes, that is absolutely something that could be done.
Right, that would be a decision we could make before or after hearing. And to discuss at a hearing,
Oh, yeah, we can discuss that at a hearing, yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is, all I'm trying to do is get you guys to meet that minimum. You're gonna say something?
No, I just said, right, that's
So
what you're
why,
doing,
why
is
wouldn't we
trying to identify
now-
those things.
put that to 950 and like get that up there on the board instead of having to talk about that and forgetting about it later?
Well, we can only make the recommendation, and then it would still have to be discussed at a hearing anyway.
But I'm sure there's other things perhaps in the ADU section that you may wanna update while you're doing this. Right now, he's just trying to show the stuff that makes,
The minimum to comply.
meet the requirements.
Why don't we go over that, put a pin in the 950 for a second and
Yep.
go over that. So
Good.
as I said, this is the whole section.
But 10, you're thinking about deleting totally, right?
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah,
there's no part of that that makes a whole lot of sense to me.
it did back before when you only had detached,
Or they had attached.
or attached, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
attached.
I,
Now it doesn't.
I guess, but even, yeah.
Yeah, because if it's attached, but I guess,
so,
Yeah.
I look at an interior door as being like a Luan door. You could put in a steel insulated door if you so choose.
So I think that essentially what it was trying to prevent was somebody building a detached ADU and then building a hallway that goes to the main residence and saying, look, it's an attached ADU type of thing. It needs to have a common door with the main
Well, the use
residence,
of
right?
common door would have been much better.
Yeah.
Rather than interior door.
Yeah, that is a little
That-
confusing, right?
I mean, that would be,
they're all interior doors if you're on the right side.
Yeah, it's funny, I hadn't
like-
thought about
if
that
there's-
interior door,
if there's
but that
walls
is
surrounding it,
especially
it's attached, it's.
yeah, the common door.
egregious.
So-
There's so many in town that are attached because 2x4s run across and they're all nailed together.
Right.
For 10, we probably wanna say delete it or something like that,
Of course.
so that leaves the other numbers in place.
Oh, okay.
Cause we don't, otherwise we're changing lots of text and.
Yeah, and cross references.
Right.
I'll forget this.
Yeah, your stuff's over there, your bag's there. I moved it.
So are you suggesting that we just put like a removed placeholder for
Right,
10?
right, yeah, or something like that, whatever like the state statutes kind
Oh.
of tend to do,
Yeah,
you know? I forget the exact
Sure.
word they use, but
So
There's a
the,
standard way that's handled,
Yeah.
and that sounds reasonable. Cause renumbering everything and
right, it's hard.
breaking all those,
It would
yeah,
just be the one
references.
section. I wouldn't.
Well, yeah, but there might be,
That big of a deal, but yeah.
but there might
I
be
understand
another
it's-
section somewhere else that refers to B12 that now is gonna become B11.
A lot of places will do deleted and then the date next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I know
what
we
we're
don't do the date as we already talked about earlier, but
date's good.
you can start doing
Good,
that.
mark it right in
You
there,
could-
there it
You
is.
could set that precedent and start putting the
Right.
date in as well.
I still think there might be something to just delete the whole section and put per RSA,
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of stuff that we probably should do that for.
yeah.
And I think we would only be able to do that if we also were changing the minimum, or sorry, the maximum size from 750 to be what the
950.
state allows,
Yeah.
yeah, to be 950, which, you know, the 750 was for attached ADUs, now detached are allowed by right, so why not let them be 950 square feet?
Yep.
And so I'm in support of that, I'm just saying you have to, you know, we'd have to make that change too, to bump it up to 950 in order just to get rid of that entire
Yeah,
section.
we would have to note what is being deleted.
And I think aside from that, that was the only kind of restrictive thing on ADUs that we had that would need to be changed based off of the state changes, right?
I'm sorry, you say that?
Our restriction about the maximum size being 750, is that the only restriction on ADUs right now that Nottingham has that would need to be changed in order for us to just get rid of the entire ADU section in our zoning and say we, you know, it follows the state zoning or the state law for ADUs? Because that's what I think what we're seeking to do is get rid of that section, and in order to do that, we'd have to know which current parts of our ADU zoning is more restrictive than what's allowed. Or, sorry, is more restrictive than the state. Hopefully that made sense.
Yes.
One of those
Yes,
things
it
being the
makes
750.
sense. I don't know the answer off the top of my head. I'm trying to see if you have anything here, like, for example, some communities will talk about, will speak,
So it's like
say specifically about,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
oh yeah, here it is, 8 is what I was looking for. ADU use shall be recorded by addendum to the property deed registry deeds indicating all the terms of the approved. Well, granted, I wasn't thinking it said that, but
same with 8.
a lot of times you have to, they'll say that you have to demonstrate that it's your primary residence. There's language out there in different communities about that. I can go fetch and see what some people have said. But now that I'm looking this over, there's maybe a few more things that need to be, like, I don't know about 9. I don't know if that's,
Right, I mean, yeah, is it really relevant, because if, especially now that it's a,
Because those are all
They can be
attached, right?
detached.
Yeah, sure.
right, but I mean, why would, I'm not sure why we had it in the first place, because even if it became an addition,
Because manufactured housing is not allowed anywhere in the town, according to,
I think manufactured housing parks are not allowed, but I think a person with a lot can put a manufactured home on it, correct?
I don't believe so.
so,
I believe there's a statement early on that says no. Not saying it's correct.
yeah, because I know manufactured it depends on what the definition of manufactured housing
Correct.
actually is.
Yeah,
Because-
that's changed a lot.
Right,
Yeah,
'cause
Yeah,
there's a lot of manufactured housing that
better than some
is
houses.
better than stick built.
It says
yeah.
right here in Article 2, Part C1H, as one of the permitted uses in that residential agricultural district, being manufactured homes excluding recreation vehicles when placed on a permanent foundation. So we do apparently allow manufactured homes as long as they're on a permanent foundation. Whatever
But-
the definition of manufactured.
This-
Why-
this is what you're
Why
talking
did we
about.
exclude it,
This is what you're talking about.
Manufactured housing parks.
housing parks?
I guess maybe.
Parks.
Right.
Okay.
So John, I think maybe the reason that it was there, and this is just me guessing, is that, you know, the idea of having a manufactured home just bolted onto a different home as a attached dwelling unit maybe wasn't desired.
Yeah,
That's the only
but-
thing.
But still, if it was built with a foundation and became,
When you only allow
An addition.
attached, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Now you have to allow detached, I would think
Doesn't
that-
make as
but you
much.
could have still had a nice manufactured addition brought in, potentially. So,
Or, well, so, alright,
But
the
I guess,
state does
I guess it doesn't
define,
matter.
the state does define, you know, manufactured home versus, you know, off-site built homes, you know, which is modular or prefab.
Okay,
Those are
strict-
different?
so if those are different terms, then,
that are used now, but I don't believe they're in here.
Correct.
That was my point, is that the language that I think is in here is like from the sixties.
Yeah.
And so even the ones you showed, it shouldn't be manufactured homes,
Right,
right? It should be something else.
right.
I will look into this to see if you, A, can do this, and you guys can decide, if you have the choice, you can decide if you want to do this.
I just think it, you know, if we're talking about ADUs, it would be great opportunity and flexibility for someone to get a tiny home or whatever that meets the criteria of square footages, bring that in, and that's their ADU.
I would agree.
Manufactured somewhere else, but
Yeah.
it's brought in.
The manufactured homes, I think by definition, are ones that are stamped by HUD, right? They've been inspected and they've been stamped by HUD because they're considered mobile. HUD regulates them because through the Interstate Commerce Clause, the federal government has regulatory power over any type of movement across state lines. A home sits on a fixed foundation. A manufactured home sits on a chassis that could be pulled to somewhere. Ergo triggers the Interstate Finance Clause. So HUD stamps and approves manufactured homes. Things that are built off-site, brought to the site and assembled are just considered modular, off-site built, there's different names for them. And the state has some names for that. I just don't know what they are off the top of my head. And sometimes mobile and manufactured are different. Travel trailers are typically considered to be the pull behinds, fifth wheels, Palomino pop-up things.
Our definition says transportable in one or more sections,
For manufactured home,
manufactured housing.
and that's it, that's all it says.
No, there's a lot more here, but I mean, that's the distinction here that's made, is it's
Multiple sections.
transportable.
Portable.
Portable and
It's
multiple
portable.
sections.
Yeah, because the construction
So-
standards, they're built to be light so that they can be pulled,
So
right, it's
8
entitled.
feet wide, 40 feet long, I mean, bunch of
it's,
stuff here.
but so if you can disassemble it to multiple sections, like quote unquote a double wide, it's still considered a, what would you call them?
Manufactured housing,
Manufactured housing.
Yep. double wide or.
As opposed to a modular home, which is built in sections but assembled to be permanent
On a foundation.
on a foundation.
Without wheels. So when you take the manufactured home and put it on a lot, and you take the axles off and set it and attach it to the foundation, it becomes real estate.
Right,
And no longer a
so,
manufactured home because it can no longer roll.
so once you take the wheels off, basically,
Well, here it goes on further to say a permanent foundation,
right,
with or without a permanent foundation.
right, so if you put it on, as long as you put it on a permanent foundation,
And
I
connect to
don't believe it's
utilities.
blocks.
right, no,
Okay.
not just blocks, that's not a foundation.
Depends on how big the blocks are.
There's actually I've done some of these, there's actually state laws that how you attach it to the foundation. And there's state requirements, you have to be a licensed installer to attach it, and they take the axles off
Right.
and they,
But you can take the axles off anyway,
And
is
still
what
leave it
I'm
on
saying.
blocks.
And put it on four corners.
Right,
It'll sag in the middle, but who cares?
still, you put it on one of the.
That's what we're trying to prevent, I think.
If it can float off those blocks, it's not permanently affixed.
Correct. And then the housing park is a bunch of these.
Okay, so either we're gonna, incrementally change the existing ADU section or potentially eliminate it. And there are some things that may stay or just has to get rid of. I mean, we do have the standards for review, so there's some things here that are probably separate from what the state has. Although it's very vague, don't alter the character appearance of the dwelling unit. Rural.
But that's the thing though, is that they're saying now you cannot dictate.
Character? What they look like?
Physical character.
Okay, well,
So that is why I'm actually having to go back through it. I may have to pull some other language out that may not fly anymore.
Yeah.
We may wanna just pretty much adopt it with minimal additions or.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Blair, could you look into that and see if we would be able, if it was just changing that 750 square feet maximum to 950? If we would essentially be able to just change our section to follow the RSA?
Right, I mean, we still may have to have that line in there no matter what, just the way that's worded.
Yeah.
Depending on to say what we allow up to.
My shorthand take on that is probably not, there's probably gonna be some language, so you're gonna still have to have an ADU section. It may not be much, but you're still gonna have to have something. Two, I think you need to have some reference so that someone reading it knows that this town absolutely complies with the law and does allow ADUs, you know, so. it
Well, that's
might
what I
be
mean,
something-
instead of spelling it all out, all the requirements and limitations, just saying, you know, our ADU requirements follow the state's.
Right, up
RSA.
to whatever size or something, kind of basically.
Sure. Unless we wanted to.
This is something that you're
But
allowed
the
to
rate-
have, and I've heard you guys talk about it a lot. No ADU can be converted to a condominium. That would in sense imply that it's a duplex. So this is something that towns can choose to do or not do. From what I've heard, typically, this is something that you would all want to stay in there. So that would be at least one piece of language that would probably
Yeah,
remain.
that makes sense.
Okay, I'm just trying to avoid another change next year that from ADUs if the state decides
I don't know
to
what more they
change
could
it.
do at this point, they pretty much just, unless they say you can have up to two.
They were trying to allow two at one time.
So this would be the last change that I caught, which is within the definition, that is just to take out is within or attached to a single family dwelling, because that's no longer a restriction. Then there's this, you know,
Right,
Blair.
but we wouldn't even need that, assuming that that's part of this. The base, that,
Yeah, because they have a definition.
they have a definition, so we wouldn't need to have that definition anymore.
In theory. What I recommend is that you just take the ADU section out of where it is currently, which is inside the residential agriculture zone, and putting it into this larger body where you're kind of dealing with just general provisions. The reason why I say that is because it's, in addition to the changes that we've been talking about, you also need to make a change to the center district, village center district, to allow ADUs, because that district allows single-family homes, and you have to, by prior state regulations, have to allow ADUs in all districts that allow single family. Which would include the village district for you guys. Town center district.
I think we need to, I agree with that, as well as the section F, which is the multifamily development. That doesn't fit in this either.
It doesn't, I didn't wanna make the recommendation, it's in my list of things, but yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think it's much better off down in the general provisions.
Yep. And that's not a town warrant kind of thing. We could shift it around. It doesn't change the wording of it, right?
My guess is no.
Yeah, my guess is no also.
If you ask an attorney, they just get so strict on those things. Like, I agree with you, you're not changing the spirit and intent of it, you're just reformatting it,
Mhm.
but
The words are still contained within the document.
I agree, yeah, you don't have to sell me on it, there's a lot of things I wish we could just do and get done. You know, like spelling mistakes and, you know, bad indentations and stuff.
Well, we could maybe put that on the article that we're moving things around to organize and
We did do that at one town vote, and which passed, where we just had a blanket corrections.
yeah.
Okay. But yes, I would agree with you, multifamily doesn't belong in the district section because it's not a district. So, yeah. All right, well, I will revisit the ADUs, about, you know, can you guys just reference the state RSA and how much would actually end up having to, remain?
And what was the third one?
Yep.
And last one, right?
You wanna be out of here in 4.5 minutes?
4.5 minutes.
You get 7.5, sir.
What time? I got 7:55 over here. Oh, what's the big clock say? What's Big Ben say?
Oh,
7:54.
7:54.
Oh, this one's actually quite easy.
All right, 6 minutes easy.
Commercial zones now have to allow multifamily residential. The state of New Hampshire defines residential as single-family duplex, and then anything 3+ units is multifamily. Now, you'll see different variations of what multifamily means in different state documents, sometimes it's 5+, blah, blah, blah. But the state definition is 3+. So we need to be able to allow multifamily 3+ in a commercial zone. Which is, yeah, so this is it, I just added it in as a use. Now, follow John's recommendations, I guess I should bring it down here to avoid the change, but this is where we're listing all of the uses.
That might be,
Yeah, that one
that,
maybe makes sense.
Yep.
Right, maybe that should have been,
because it'll get lost down below.
right, it should have been probably not a sub-bullet,
Yeah.
you know.
So yeah, I'm just adding it here as a use, that's a permitted use. And then I'm also changing the definition, because it was really weird. A residential building designed for, occupied by 3, but not more than 4 families. I don't know what that's your current definition, and that makes no sense
What does the state say?
of what a multifamily.
Family.
Well, I added this in, I pulled this from another town. I just thought it was the most simple. I think I pulled this from the town of Farmington. It's another town we do circuit riding for, and I just liked it, this one. And I looked up structure, you know, it works here. So this you don't need to do as part of this compliance change. I just think if you're having this conversation, you should do this, because this makes no sense, the current definition.
I think I see where that came from. In the old one, it said not to exceed 4 units per building, so they wanted like, 4 units.
Yeah,
It's per building.
And it shouldn't be tied to families either, the
no,
way things work.
and that's actually a change of the recent RSA's, because landlords discriminate against college students. You can't have more than 3, or towns trying to discriminate against college students, no more than 3 unrelated people in a structure. And the RSA changed this year as part of that big list, eliminated that. So yeah, in a sense, you're right. Getting the word family out of there might just be the best way to go, and just say households.
Or units.
Yeah, or just go by units.
Units is what it should
Dwelling
say.
unit.
Yeah,
Right.
We don't define unit either.
we have dwelling unit, but we don't define what unit is.
Right.
And then I've also made a note that perhaps as a Scrivener correction change, all multifamily should be hyphened or not hyphened. We need to make a decision. I said hyphen because that's the most prevalent.
But if we wanna eliminate the word multifamily because of family,
Agreed?
then we got a whole different.
Multi-unit.
Alright,
I think it should go, I think we should just, the country should just go that way, so there's consistency.
Yeah.
Single unit, 2-unit, 3-unit, multi-unit, whatever,
Yep,
but, you know, I don't wanna be.
and you can.
Maybe we could be a leader in this.
Yeah, let's be progressive.
You know, we were leaders
We
in
already have no parking requirements.
we were leaders in the recycling.
Yeah, we could take over the unit family.
So,
And it's pretty clear what a unit is, you can define that.
Oh, you can't
Sure.
define it.
The dwelling unit?
Yeah.
That's, no, I agree.
No, a unit should have at least one bedroom, which contains a
It
closet.
doesn't have to have a bedroom. What if it's like a studio?
Some towns have it has to have a kitchen, have to have cooking facilities,
Yeah.
have to have, you could have a shared bath in some. Like a rooming house in that scenario.
it's basically.
In mine, it would be very simple. Bathroom, kitchen, bedroom, living room. At least.
But that's
Add
not,
a sink, a toilet.
that's not what we have in the community. The community has units that have just a bed, as defined as a unit, just a bed,
Like a studio, or you mean just?
just a bed.
They have a definition of dwelling unit in
They
here.
have units that just have a bed, and then there is a shared kitchen,
Oh,
a shared bathroom, and the bed is leased out or rented out as a unit.
That's here in town?
Yes, here in town.
yeah, there's a
Is that
name for
rented to
that,
college
it's,
kids?
Is that multifamily?
shared,
It is.
Okay,
is it SEO, shared, something occupancy, shared? SRO, shared rooming occupancy, I think is what those are referred to as. You have a structure where you have your own
Common
room.
area.
You have your own room, but then you have shared facilities, bathroom, kitchen, stuff like that. I think they're called SROs.
This is
Shared room
leased out
occupancy.
by the room.
What's that?
This is leased by room
Yeah,
with common kitchen, common bath.
yeah, they're
common-
referred to as SROs, shared room occupancies.
we don't have that right now. In our regs.
We don't have that in our regulation.
But apparently we have at least
And
one.
you're saying that that exists in this town? That's wild. Yeah, then maybe that is something we need to define.
Sounds like a 4-bedroom home.
I've
I mean,
It does.
brought it to the town's attention in the
Right,
past.
it does. It sounds like a 4-bedroom house or
Right.
whatever, a many bedroom house.
what I choose to do in the bedrooms?
Yeah, I wonder how that would differentiate.
It's just roommates, basically, but you're probably the primary person who's probably not living
Those
there.
aren't bedrooms, those are units.
Yeah, the owner's not living there.
Right.
So as of right now, these are the 3 that I think you absolutely have to do to become compliant. There is some stuff related to, that, this is for zoning, there are subdivision changes, like for example, the vesting. You weren't even compliant with the previous thing. You're supposed to give people up to say 2 years or 3 years, and you only gave them up to 2. So you're trying to get doubly caught up on stuff like that. But this is the ones I wanted to get in front of you
Is that
today.
only for subdivision, is that for zoning or variances or anything else?
That's a good question. So the way I understand it is it's important because once you reach substantial completion, the town can't take rights away from you. And once you reach vested, it's even stronger. I don't know enough about these things to speak intelligently on. I just know they're different and that there's,
So the go back to there. I was just gonna point out the deleted precedents. So D, signs, it was deleted, voted on 3 in 2006. and
Not
2000
revised until
Not revised until,
over a year later. So it goes.
Oh, so we have something in there.
yeah, we have something in there.
okay, so I'll use that as my,
So apparently, that was changed in a meeting, not a or a ballot.
It was voted and then it was never changed until a year later.
So,
So
oh,
they voted on the amendment to
Okay.
change it, and it was not changed in the zoning for a year later.
Okay.
I don't know that I'd use it for precedence, cause
Yeah,
it
it's
just
kinda
maybe,
wonky.
it may be only one.
Yeah. It's a little wonky.
Just search the document for deleted
Yeah.
and see if there are any others.
Yeah, that's my plan, but it gives me a start.
Yep.
Here doesn't
I don't know what my shorthand says by tomorrow, so I try to write detailed, I'm getting better at that, but.
Bottom of page 7.
Oh, yeah, okay, so how about the one on
See, this is what
page
it says.
6?
In your whole section around commercial industrial, it just says,
Under
everything's necessary.
2C?
Oh, there you
It
go,
says it
another
was
science
deleted,
one.
but not, I mean, voted, but not
Voted,
deleted.
yeah. Alright, sure.
But not, right, not revised.
So then why?
So maybe that was never accepted.
And they were
Okay.
voted at the same time, right?
You would think so.
Yeah, that's really weird. Why did only one of those make it in, but the other didn't? And-
Well, what are you laughing at?
Signs.
So on the prior page,
Page
if you go to
6.
page 6, in the middle of
2C?
that, or yeah,
2C.
2C, there's another signs that got deleted, and it was voted on the same time as the other, but it doesn't say that additional
Not
part about
revised.
not revised until the next year.
Maybe they revised it there and they didn't revise it on the other one.
There's a story behind that, I'm sure.
Okay.
It probably was revised at the same time, just didn't get captured. It was probably, you know,
Probably, yeah.
remove signs from these pieces. They have to go back to the 07, or, yeah,
Right.
the town report for 08.
So what's the action now on these? Are you gonna summarize this one more time or look into a
I'll
couple
make
of those
the, I'll
things
make
and
the
then?
changes and look into the things you asked me to, and then, you know,
Okay.
in time, I'll bring them back, you know, when we're ready to do that.
And there's probably some other things that we would wanna get on the agenda for
Yeah, I
vote.
Yeah.
mentioned that last year we, late in the game, discovered that the definition for a butter was changed by the state. And we went to change that, but it was too late for us to get it, so we didn't pick that up
Okay,
last year. So we should update that.
all right.
So the state RSA's use the word repealed.
Instead of deleted.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Blair, in regards to residential uses in commercial zones, I know that's what this is all about, but does it follow that this is also applicable in industrial zones?
So I saw that the state RSA provides some allowance for not allowing residential multifamily in industrial zones. We don't differentiate. Ours is a commercial industrial. So I took the sort of, I don't know, conservative liberal approach, whatever, just like, I brought it in as though you needed to add it.
Okay.
Right,
I
right,
guess
that makes
it's-
sense because it's commercial, industrial, therefore it has to apply.
Yeah, and I don't know if you even have any industrial uses over there at the moment. So,
I don't know.
yeah, and then you have to define industrial. You know, a community like, say, Rochester that has just zones for every little thing.
Right.
They probably, that's commercial, that's industrial, multifamily will be allowed over here. We didn't differentiate, so I didn't,
Okay.
yeah.
I just thought maybe it was the, if you will, another way of getting housing to take place. It would stretch, this indicates it's stretching from residential to commercial. And why wouldn't it follow that it would just also go to industrial?
Yeah, I mean, the state RSA clearly states you don't have to allow it in industrial zones.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, stepping back, the whole point of zoning, and particularly zoning districts, is to allow uses that are compatible, right? An aluminum smeltering plant and grandma's house are not compatible.
But that smelting plant that goes out of business can become a multiple housing unit.
after you clean up the site, yes, you can do a lot of things there. But, you
A lot
know,
of things.
whatever,
Put a daycare there.
they're doing at the, you know, the business park, the Route 4 Business Park, I mean, I don't see anything happening there that I wouldn't consider to be conducive with the residential. A lot of people may not wanna live in that residence, but I think there's a lot of people that would be fine with it.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
so, I don't know how to play this one, but
Okay,
I
that's fine.
approached it as, I think we should allow it, so.
Yep.
Yep.
If you feel strongly enough about it.
I think it's another precedenting opportunity for us.
There are changes that we never took action on that have happened over the last few years that we also need to take to make changes on to become compliant. Somebody just mentioned, you just mentioned the definition of a butter. That's one of the ones that I point out, we need to make a change. I even show the text here where I think it needs to be Article VC 1A and then in definitions. Also, childcare industry, we talked about this in the joint meeting. Home-based childcare cannot be required to go through site plan review. So, shall not, and this is from the RSA, and shall not be subject to local site plan review in any zone where a primary residential use is permitted. So that'll have to be something that we'll have to tweak a little bit. And then, of course, there's this one, the road bonding one. This isn't a zoning change, this is a subdivision regulation change. And it's, we need to address that, and that's gonna be a whole big bag of stink. Because
But it's good.
we've got text like this, and I'm sure some of it can stay, but some of it can't. Cause it's like, there is a trigger mechanism for requiring to have a bond, so we need to still have to have a procedure in place to get that bond. It has to go through the select, they have to submit a statement of values, it gets reviewed, it goes to select, blah, 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 blah. So we still need to have it, it's just, maybe it's just some tweaks, I don't know, but that is something we're gonna have to deal with.
Drew, are you on or zoning on your computer?
No.
Oh, alright. Do we have a home-based business section?
Yes.
We do.
We do.
Home
Because we have major-
occupation.
Home occupation, yeah.
Or home occupation, yes.
Where is,
It's in additional provisions, section 4, most likely, or section 3, I believe, I don't know.
Page 28.
28?
We have a major
Okay,
and
haven't gotten
minor.
there yet, okay.
It's a trigger mechanism to go from
You want
building
something
permit
planned.
to, you gotta come before people.
Right.
And that's the thing about childcare facilities, is they're just like a school, they have like 45 minutes of hell in the morning and 45 minutes of hell in the afternoon, and the rest of the day it's silent. You know, it's just kids in a couple of cars, but you do have those moments. Not much we can do.
Okay, so let's, starting to peter out here.
Yeah, I know Drew wanted to bring up the road, so
Yeah,
do you wanna be done with this then?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think we are
I think
for
we're at
now.
a point, yeah,
I think we're.
okay. And so let's go to the Route 4, Route 125 intersection. We did get notified that that's gonna be delayed even further,
Yep,
so I don't know.
quite a bit, right?
By quite a bit.
Am I
Yeah.
remembering that
Yeah.
correctly? Yeah, like on the order of a year or two or something like that?
I thought it was more.
Okay, yeah, maybe it is more.
Yeah, so
I was
I
trying
know-
to be.
I know we
generous.
had concerns with the design and encroaching some of the wetlands there or stream. And there was communication with DOT about, okay, well, we're in a very preliminary design, we'll take that into account. And they sent us a letter requesting, what's just some,
Had
I
a series of
remember
questions.
questions, right?
Yeah, the prompts for us to respond to.
Yeah.
Which I
Doesn't
can't
it
remember.
predominantly go to the Board of Selectmen?
it went to the planning board,
It
came to
did.
the planning board, yeah.
I think they did a presentation for it.
They did do that.
So those questions, that set of questions did go here to the planning board, they also went to the conservation commission as well.
Oh,
They
okay.
may have gone to the select board too, but they at least went here and to the conservation commission. So yeah, since that, I guess I'd be curious, since that project is delayed, are they still using that input that they're soliciting, or is that also delayed their desire for input? Like, if we give them input now, is that even gonna end up getting incorporated if things have now been moved a couple years down the road?
No, I think we should respond to that. I
Okay.
think we should provide a response, and then if they come back with it in an updated version, that some of those are now moot, then that's fine.
Can we get a copy of that letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You
I'll,
did get it, or?
I think it was emailed, but this was a while ago, this was.
Yeah, I'll
4
recirculate
meetings.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
And also, there's maybe along with that, there's a website that DOT has that includes a ton of the information about that intersection.
Yeah, it has the maps and has, you know,
They
some
finally put-
presentations.
data,
Finally
presentation.
put that up
How-
there.
Yeah, it is up there now, it has a lot of information, so.
But it sounded like it's off a couple of years
Mhm.
Yeah.
in funding.
So
29 was when it was
I
going.
wanna make sure, I forwarded you guys an email from our transportation planner. Was that the same project, same thing as that letter from a while ago?
It's been a
I
while.
believe so, it was, yeah, it has been a while, but I think that was the same project, yeah, the
Okay.
Route 4.
It's come up, it's like
56.
after 10 years, it comes up for funding. So it's been like really long time is what they
Well, it
said.
was 20 years since it
20
last
years?
came up.
Yeah.
And the
Oh.
town sent basically a rejection letter, because a lot of people came out and said, no, we don't want it. And so the state, the implication was they deleted it and they
Yeah.
weren't gonna do it. But it was still on the list and now it got put back in again.
Yeah, so what that letter said was DOT is proposing shifting current funds for engineering and right-of-way work from 2025 to 2027.
2 years, okay.
And then a gentleman from Northwood,
Does that mean construction is 31?
Yeah, that would be design.
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
Because that, they
If
were
design's
talking
not till
29.
27, it's gonna take a
Yeah.
couple of years after that.
Yeah.
We can have the dams redone before then.
So I think just to get it off our plate, we'll just respond, we'll recirculate it.
Yeah.
And we'll come up with a draft response, and then we'll just look at it as a board and then ship it back to them. And
Yeah.
if they wanna have it, then, or if they say it's too late, then it's too late, but.
Let's send it to Matt, he can do it.
Matt, his name's Nick.
Nick.
Nick,
I don't have a thing, no. I was a
Oh.
good
He doesn't have a thing.
I'll work on that.
sorry.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay, so then, we're in the last item of the agenda, which is called adjourn.
okay, hold on a second. hold on. So
He's saying no.
I sent another email. And it says, quick update for you on the proposed change to Northwood Nottingham Safety Improvement Project at US 4-152. The proposed change has been removed from the August administrative modifications, minors. That means the project schedule and funding remain preliminary engineering design in 2025, right-of-way in 2025. So maybe it hasn't been shifted.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it's indicating to me that I forwarded it. I can't imagine I forwarded it to anyone else but you guys, but
You should be able to tell who you forwarded it to.
yeah, I'm trying to find that.
Can we do that after we adjourn?
What do you got? What is so pressing in your world on a Wednesday? Yes, I sent it to you. To Drew.
Just me?
Just Drew.
Just me.
Oh no, Dirk is in here. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you send that one?
Yeah. Alright, well anyways, I can try to find out a little more tomorrow or Friday, just remind me and or don't remind me, I'll find out more.
Well, the two guys that were presenting the project are on your staff or consultants to you guys or something?
It would have been DOT.
No, it was the DOT guys. that-
No, the two DOT guys are on Stratford Regional Planning something or other.
The two DOT guys are,
How's that work?
yeah, I mean, we're part of the MPO, SRPC is part of the MPO. Are you saying part, like,
Their report indicated they were also from SRPC.
I mean, it's a DOT project. We have representation there as we are part of the MPO.
Yeah.
So, and we take an active role in that.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine it.
I'm,
Decision-making group.
I'll go back and check the report, but that's kind of what it indicated.
All right,
And
well,
then somebody said to me, "Oh, those SRPC guys."
Bed with
Like,
the
no,
DOT
no,
and.
No, they're not.
yeah, if you find something that you can clarify with me, then I'll follow up on it. But I will at least look into the status of these things. Because one is indicating it's pushed off to 2027. This latest one seemed to indicate it did not change. Now I'm done.
Well, we'll tackle that letter at the next meeting, right? All right, we'll get that off our plate then. And I do have that email here.
Do you need a second?
I heard a motion and a
I
second.
was looking at this, I was wondering if we could make a motion to adjourn.
Slick.
Wow. I'll second that, Danny.
There's a motion, a second, a second. I think we can
Second
raise
that
our hands.
emotion.
Any ayes? Nice. All right.